Okay, we're ready for part 2. You have your tessellation diamond shape completely colored using Pixlr Editor, and you've saved it as a JPEG image. Well, now we're going to go ahead and open that image. And we're going to find where it is. I believe mine is in my downloads, and right here it is. And yours will be on your desktop, or excuse me, on your Google Drive. I'm going to move my navigator over, my layers palette over, just moving everything over so I have a little bit more room here on my screen. So here it is. Here is my original that I had colored. Now you'll remember it has the little layer lock on it, so we want to double click that to give it a checkbox. That gives us the ability to make changes. Again, we're going to go in with our magic wand tool, and we're going to select the white background, and we're going to delete. To get rid of the selection, we're going to go Control D to deselect, and now we're ready to go on to the next step. And that step is we're going to go across the menu bar at the top of the browser window to Image, and we're going to go to Canvas Size. We're going to set our width to 3000 and our height to 3000. And we're going to select the center bottom box and click OK. Now, if you remember right, looking at the navigator pane, we have a snapshot of our entire piece of paper, I guess you could call it. And right now we're only viewing this little tiny red box on there. So what we're going to do is remove our slider so that we can see, for just a moment anyway, the entire page. Now, the first thing that we need to do is we need to turn this piece so that it's standing up the tall way. Right now it's kind of the long way, and we want it to be standing this way, so we need to rotate it. So we're going to go Edit, Free Transform, gets all these blue boxes. If you hover over one of the corners, any of the 4 corners, you're going to get the round rotation tool, and you're going to rotate it up. Now, if you hold down your Shift key, it helps to get it more standing straight up, and you don't have to kind of guess which it is. So I kind of like that. And for right now, we want to kind of keep it toward the center of that bottom edge. And once we are satisfied with where we have it, and you can also use your arrow keys to move things, and that will be more important here in a little bit. So what we're going to do is hit Return, and that's going to apply those changes, and the blue boxes will disappear. Now I like to work with my Move tool selected because that's really what we're going to be using the most of. So I'm going to select my Move tool, and now I need to make a copy of that layer. So I'm going to click on it, hold down, and drag it down onto this new sheet of paper. And you'll notice where it pops up and says New Layer. Then you're going to let go, and now you'll notice in your Layers palette, Layer 0, Copy. But there's nothing on there until you click and hold, and there it is. It was just nesting right on top of the other one. Now we need to start matching up our edges to new edges. So again, with this new layer copy, what I'm going to do is I need to transform it. You could go Control T, or you can do the drop down menu, Free Transform. Up comes my little 4 boxes, or my corner boxes again, and I'm going to hold down my Shift key. It's going to go a little crazy here, I think. I might not be able to. Well, let's go a little crazy. There we go. And what you'll notice is that we're going to be able to match up that side. Now this is kind of hard to tell when it's matching up. So what I am going to do, Oh, yes, I want to apply the changes for right now anyway. I'm going to zoom in. And now I need to use my scroll bar to scroll down and scroll over a little bit. So this will give me a better idea of where my images are lining up next to each other. Now I've got a little gap here, so I want to correct that. So I need to go back into my Edit, Free Transform. Again, my blue boxes come up, which allows me to just make a few changes. Again, now I can use my arrow keys to move it into place, and you want to get it just about as close as you can. And then once you're satisfied with it, go ahead and hit the return. Now you'll notice it kind of jumped when you hit the return. Again, then just use those arrow keys to just pop it right back in place, and that'll work. Now that moving with the arrow keys after you've put it into place only works if you have the move tool selected. So now I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to actually slide over here a little bit, but I am going to, my 0 copy is highlighted. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to drag, make another copy of that. Again, it doesn't look like anything happened, but if I click and drag, we notice that it did indeed happen. But it's not matching up. So what I need to do is I need to do my Edit, Free Transform. My blue boxes come up. Now you'll remember if you look in Canvas, there is kind of a diagram that has 12 pieces in it. And that's something you're going to want to take a look at. Okay, so I think I have this one in place. Whoops, a little bit of white showing there. So if I just nudge that into place using my arrow keys, that's going to work pretty well. Now let me just quickly get to where that diagram is in Canvas. So I'm going to go to Fundamentals of Art. And I'm going to go to the Tessellations assignment. And I'm going to scroll down just a bit. There's a finished design. Oh, maybe it's not on here. Well, let's fix that real quick. I think it's in the very, very first video. But let's just pop that in here. I'm going to bring it down here. Okay, so you're getting a little bit more than what you bargained for today. Look over here in my images. I was thinking there was one in here. Well, I have completely been untruthful. And I apologize for that. I am not seeing the image that I was thinking was here. Let me just, it's diamond directions. Okay, well, let me look one more place. I apologize for this little bit of a snafu, but you're getting the real life of Mrs. Sternhagen here. And I know you're really all excited about that. But I do want to show you that diagram, and I will, after finishing up this video, I will put that in Canvas for you. And it is right here. So what we've already done is this was the first piece that we did. This was the second piece that we did. And this is the third piece that we just finished. So what I would suggest is then I would lay in this piece and this piece, lay in this piece, lay in this piece, then either I would just go across here, 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 then lay in the last 2 pieces. You're going to lay in 12 pieces overall. And that's going to create this hexagon shape, 6-sided shape, 12 pieces, and then you'll very clearly see the tessellations. And if you will remember here in Canvas, it did show the finished image that I created earlier ahead of this video of what this is going to end up looking like. So you can see how the patterns repeat, how all the images connect and how the patterns repeat. And it really could go on and on and on for infinity. So let's get back to what we're doing though. Okay, so we're on the third piece. So I'm going to just continue doing this. I'm going to keep doing the layers. Where is it? There it is. I might shrink this down just a tidge more so I can get my shapes in there. But I want to keep it pretty big so I can make sure that I'm accurately lining things up. Now, I'm going to go ahead, edit, free transform. I was checking to see if the Control T worked and it did not work for me. So I'm going to do it just the tried and true way of edit, free transform. Slide that in there, see how close I am. Work with a little more. This may seem fairly simple at this point, but I would really encourage you to take your time and really get those pieces to match up just as closely as possible. And so I'm really going to not talk for a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and finish this up so that you can see the entire process. Didn't really want to apply the changes, but I don't know why it made me do that. So it looks just like maybe a teeny tiny adjustment, and then I'm going to just nudge it into place. Maybe just one more little adjustment. Okay. I'm not always just 100% satisfied, and I'm going to just really take my time to get the best possible match that I can get. I got 2 more pieces to go. I didn't do a very good job with that one. And one more. Okay, that looks pretty good. I have my hexagon shape. I have 12 pieces. And I'm going to kind of work with my navigator pane here. So I want to be able to see the whole image. But if I can get it pretty close to being barely fitting in my window, that would really be best, because what we're going to do next, that will make sense for you in a minute. So I'm going to try to get it as close to, I can even just put it over to one side here. Because then I'm going to select my marquee tool, and I'm going to just go right in the top corner of that window, and I'm going to select over just basically to make sure that I'm including the whole image. And then I'm going to go to Image, Crop. And now you'll notice that it's taken away the majority of all that extra space, and it's really just cropped into that hexagon image, that hexagon shape with my 12 diamond shapes inside of it. Now, whoop, not sure what that's doing. I want to go File, Save, and this time I'm going to call it Final Tessellation. Actually, I'm going to put it Sternhagen dash Final Tessellation. I do want to save it as a JPEG. I do want to move the quality up to 100. Wait for it to finish working. Click OK. Say where I want to save it. Yours will go to your drive or to your recents. I'm working on a Mac again, so that I'm going to be saving a little bit different. But I'm just going to go ahead and save it in my downloads. And now it has been saved. So you can go ahead and close. Do you want to save it? Well, you already just did, so no. And you are officially done. And what you're going to do now is just upload that final image to the assignment in Canvas. Thanks for being so patient. I know this can't be 100% easy, but I think it's going to teach you some new skills that you'll be able to use in some of your other classes when you're going to need to do some editing or creating of things, and Pixlr Editor is a fast, easy, free way for you to do that. So good luck finishing up your assignment, and I cannot wait to see them.